The gravest and the most important event in India has been the accident in the submarine Sindhu Ratna, followed by the resignation of the naval chief, Admiral D.K. Joshi. The resignation, the offer of resignation, and its immediate acceptance by the government highlights two things. One is, of course, the fact that this was the 10th made accident involving a naval vessel in the last 7 months. That's unprecedented for us and possibly for navies across the world. But more importantly, it reflected also the poor quality of relations between the politicians and bureaucrats on the one side and the service chiefs in the Ministry of Defense. This is, of course, an unhealthy development, an unhealthy phenomenon at any time, but particularly when we are in a situation where everything around us is unstable. There is the ripples continuing in the East as a result of Chinese expansionist demands and the continuing impact of the uncertainties and the aspirations that the Arab awakenings have set off to our West. There is broad agreement among analysts that the quality of the equipment that probably all three services in India have is both inadequate and what there is not in good shape. And this is most unfortunate when in fact we have had stability in the form of the same defense minister for many years now. And this needs urgent attention. Unfortunately, it is unlikely to get the attention it needs because we are in full election mode already. The quickening developments in the Ukraine are worrisome for everybody. A tactical victory by the West will actually lead to a continued crisis in the Crimea, and it will also harden the positions between Russia and the NATO countries. This is in nobody's interest, least of all in the interests of Ukraine. It would be most unfortunate if the Ukraine continues to be unstable, which is how it looks it will be with the rise of right-wing groups. The rise and the dominance that right-wing groups are enjoying right now in the Ukraine is also a very worrisome phenomenon for Western Europe, where the rise of right-wing parties is itself a startling development. In Ukraine, the best that can happen is that some form of government settles in and is able to at least begin to address the grievous economic and political issues that this nation will now confront. The recent G20 meeting in Sydney seems to have come up with a series of cliches and platitudes, like some of the meetings before that. And in fact, some of these are quite inexplicable. The decision to have a 2% rate of growth, which means about $2 trillion, without any inputs into how this is to be achieved by different countries, which are in very different stages of their recovery from the economic downturn of the last few years. At the same time, there is only regret that the decisions taken to give developing countries more representation in institutions of global finance, but again, no measures or in fact, no real determination to rectify this.